Now, if you follow my channel over the years, you know I'm a huge fan of Lenovo's ThinkPad line. I like what they bring to the table: durability, excellent quality, and I love the keyboards. Yes, one of my favorite parts of the ThinkPad line. Well, I just took delivery of one of its newest offerings. It's the X1 Yoga Gen 7, a nice follow-up to one of my favorite business convertibles of last year. We got that 16:10 aspect ratio, we've got 12th gen Intel processors, we've got faster RAM, and we have faster storage, all new for 2022. And one of the best parts about this is a return to OLED. Yes, you can now get it in a 4K OLED display. That's an option you didn't get for the last couple of years. Let's take a look at it more closely to see if this is a worthy upgrade. Hey everybody, it's Andrew, and this is my unboxing and first look review of Lenovo ThinkPad X1 Yoga Gen 7 here for 2022. Coming up. Now, before we get to the unboxing, I want to let everybody know, in the interest of transparency and full disclosure, I'm not being paid by Lenovo. I'm not being sponsored by Lenovo. All the opinions you're about to hear are my own. Lenovo is not getting copy approval. That means they're seeing this video for the first time, just like you. Now, this unit is on loan from Lenovo, and once this review is done, I'll be sending it back. Now, pricing starts at $1721.85. There are models available right now for you to order. Shipping May 17th, depending on the SKU you go with. Otherwise, if you're going to custom build it, you're going to wait 2+ months. Of course, we're still in the supply shortage mode here. The pandemic is not quite over, people, so that is just a reality. But for those interested in purchasing one, I'll leave a link in the description below for more information and where you can buy one. And with the specs and pricing out of the way, let's find out what you get inside the box. Let's open it up. They give you a 65-watt USB-C power adapter, and they also give you the extension cord as well. You get a bunch of documentation, and of course you get the unit itself. Now, holding the unit for the first time, this is super premium, very high-end, and extremely durable. That's what we've come to expect in the ThinkPad line. Now, this finish, of course, is that storm gray finish we saw from last year, and I'm a big fan of it as it shows less fingerprints than the black models we've seen in the past. And the build construction is first rate with hardly any flex in the chassis. We've come to expect this in the ThinkPad line. And at 1.38 kilograms, or a little bit above 3 pounds, this is definitely portable, easy to take with you on the go. And I would say, all in all, the design is very good on this laptop. Not much has changed physically on this laptop, and that's a good thing because the design is one of its strong suits from last year. Okay, let's check out that port selection. We're going to start off on the left side. We get 2 Thunderbolt 4 ports that are full function. They support data, charge, and display out. Next to that is a USB-A 3.2 Gen 1 port and an HDMI 2.0B port to round out the ports on the left side. Moving over to the right side is a silo that houses the pen. We're going to get into the pen a little bit later on. You get a microphone headphone combo jack, another USB-A 3.1 Gen 1 port, and a Kensington lock port to round out the ports on this laptop. Notably missing, there's no SD or micro SD card reader on this laptop, something to be aware of. And if you get the optional 5G, the nano SIM card slot will be on that right side as well. Also new this year is a full HD webcam. There's a reverse notch on the lid letting you know that it does have a full HD webcam along with quad mic array for the audio. We're going to get into it a little bit as far as the quality of the video and audio a little bit later on. And once again, Lenovo makes it super easy to get inside this laptop. All you need to do is loosen the 5 Phillips head captive screws and remove the bottom plate, and you're in. It's that easy. Now you can configure this with up to 32 gigabytes of LP DDR5 5200 RAM running in dual channel mode. But unfortunately, the RAM is soldered into the motherboard. That means you as the user cannot upgrade it yourself down the road. So when you're checking out, make sure you get enough RAM for your needs. Now my review unit that was sent over by Lenovo has 16 gigabytes of RAM. But the good news is the SSD is upgradable by the user, and it supports PCIe Gen 4 storage, which is faster than last year. But as you can see in the reads and writes for the included 512 gigabyte SSD included in my review unit, these seem to be Gen 3 speeds, not the faster Gen 4. And when it comes to the wireless, this has a Wi-Fi 6E along with a Bluetooth 5.2 combo card, which is soldered into the motherboard, so you cannot upgrade it later on if you wanted to, so something to bear in mind. And there's the optional 5G or 4G LTE that will be an option if you want to at checkout. You'll have to pay extra for it, but if you want to be connected on the road, not have to worry about a Wi-Fi hotspot, that might be the way to go. And for those wondering, yes, you can open the lid with one finger. That's not something you normally can do on a convertible. And one of the reasons I love the X1 line, especially in the ThinkPad line, is the legendary keyboard. I like the key travel here. I like the tactility and the comfortable nature of the keyboard when you're typing for extended periods of time. I absolutely love typing on a ThinkPad, and this is no exception. Now, the key travel is actually really good on this, as I mentioned. You also get a spill-resistant keyboard, so if you're going to spill some water or coffee on it, you'll have a fighting chance of this surviving. And it also has a multi-stage backlight that allows you to get work done in a dark room or a dimly lit environment. Now, as far as the keyboard itself is concerned, it's a pretty nice sounding keyboard, and let's give it a listen to see how it sounds when you type on it. And it does have a glass precision touchpad that was super responsive. Two-finger scrolling was buttery smooth, and all the gestures work as you'd expect. It also has physical mouse buttons. And there's the TrackPoint, which is part of the ThinkPad DNA, not going anywhere anytime soon. And I thought it was really responsive as well to navigate through the OS. And this being a 2-in-1 convertible means you can put it into the different modes. There's the tent mode, which is great for consuming media, watching Netflix, Amazon, and YouTube. The same could be said for the stand, or what some people call presentation mode. And of course, you could always put it into the tablet mode, great for use with the pen. Now, the pen is included at no additional cost, and it stores and charges within the device itself with that silo on the right side, and you won't have to worry about losing the pen. I like that. And it goes without saying, having the pen allows you to take notes, sketch out artwork when you need it, and I think it's been working really good so far. I'll get into it more in the upcoming full review. Now, there are three options when it comes to the display. They're all 14 inches, two of which are Full HD Plus resolutions, and they are IPS displays. And there's one 14-inch OLED display with a resolution of 3840 by 2400. I'm glad to see the return of an OLED display. That one's also an HDR 400 display that can reach as bright as 500 nits. Now, my review unit that Lenovo sent over has the 1920 by 1200 resolution. That's a Full HD Plus IPS display with an anti-reflective and anti-smudge coating on it, and it's a low-powered display that can get as bright as 400 nits. I actually measured 402 nits, so very accurate in terms of what they claim. And it has some really deep blacks, good white point, good contrast, and a low delta E score of 1.21. Remember, anything below 2 is considered color accurate. This doesn't disappoint. And it's got good coverage of the color gamut. 100% sRGB, 80% Adobe RGB, 82% of the DCI-P3 wide color gamut, and 75% NTSC. So if you're a content creator that does Lightroom, Photoshop, color grading, and of course video editing, this is a decent choice. But of course, if you're going to be doing those things, I would check out that 4K OLED option, which should have even better numbers than this one. Now, one of the benefits of going with an IPS Full HD Plus display is you're going to get better battery life than you would with that 4K OLED option, something to keep in mind. So this is the front-facing camera on the brand new ThinkPad X1 Yoga Gen 7 here for 2022. Now, this is a 1080p camera. Now, I think it's pretty good in terms of that video quality and the audio quality. Now, this is a quad array mic system here. So what do you think about the audio quality as well as that video quality? Let me know in that comments section below. Now, my review unit doesn't have the IR camera option or the computer vision option that you get on the higher end models, something to be aware of. And there's also a shutter switch on the latch that allows you to turn off the webcam, giving you more security and privacy. And the power button doubles as a fingerprint scanner, allowing you to log in with Windows Hello. Now, this is running the Core i7 1260p. It has 12 cores. That's 4 performance cores and 8 efficiency cores. We've seen this before on a couple of other models so far here in 2022. And I'm not seeing the best numbers when I compared it to, say, something like the Yoga 9i that I recently reviewed. It actually did a little bit better, but I need to delve into it a little bit more. I need to test the thermals and do all my full testing and bring you all that in the upcoming full review. Now, of course, one of the reasons why you'd want to look at a ThinkPad like this is to get work done with productivity work. And that means doing things such as Microsoft Office, email, web browsing will all be great on this machine. Now, of course, this is not a gaming laptop by any stretch. It only has integrated Iris Xe graphics, but you can play some of the older titles if you lower the settings. I'll bring you some numbers in that upcoming full review. But again, this is not going to be a powerhouse when it comes to video editing or processor-intensive tasks. This is more productivity-based, such as Microsoft Office, email, web browsing for the executive on the go. Now, this is a quad speaker setup. It's got Dolby Atmos, so you're going to have the enhanced spatial audio that brings. So far, the volume has been good, the mids have been good, and there was some bass. Let's give it a listen. Now, I will be comparing it to some other laptops in the full review, but let's just get a listen to it to get an idea of the sound in this initial review. Now, this is a 57 watt-hour battery, and I have that Full HD Plus IPS display, which should do better than that 4K OLED option, which not only has to push more pixels, but has an OLED display, which means it won't do quite as well in terms of that battery life. Of course, I still need to do my testing. I've had it less than 24 hours. I'm expecting anywhere from 7 to 8 hours of solid use, of mixed use, but again, the proof will be in the numbers. That will be coming very soon. Okay, people, a little bit less than 24 hours with the ThinkPad X1 Yoga Gen 7 here for 2022. I like a lot of the improvements here. The 4K OLED option is a great one to have. PCIe Gen 4 SSD support, although my review unit only has Gen 3 speeds. Nice, though, that we can upgrade it to Gen 4. LPDDR5 RAM, that's faster than last year's RAM, running in dual channel mode, which is good to see. Great port selection with the exception of no SD or micro SD card reader. Upgradable SSD, as I mentioned. ThinkPad keyboard here is great. I love it. It's great for typing. Very good tactility, as you'd expect with a ThinkPad keyboard. It's durable and rock solid with the build. I like the quad speakers with the Dolby Atmos on it. It worked out really good so far, sounding good. And I love the optional 5G or 4G LTE, depending on which one you go with. Now, the negatives here, of course, it can get quite expensive, especially if you do opt to go for that 4K OLED option or you opt to get the optional 5G. It starts to add up in price. Right now, you can get it for around $1,720 for that entry-level model. And I think a lot of you will be happy with that because this Full HD Plus IPS display has been great so far. But there's a lot to like here, ladies and gentlemen. I look forward to putting it through its paces and bringing you my full review. That will be coming very soon. So what do you think about the X1 Yoga Gen 7? I've got a lot more testing to do with it, of course. I'm going to test the thermals, battery life, performance, and of course, everything in terms of that display, all coming up in my upcoming full review. So you don't want to miss it. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel and make sure you hit that notification bell. You don't want to miss a thing, as I have other laptops as well arriving into the studio for me to check out. But I'm curious to know what you think. Let me know in that comment section below. So please hit the like button, please subscribe, please share this video. Don't forget to leave a comment in that comment section below. Let me know how I'm doing. Let me know if there's a device or something out there you think I should review. I'll do my best to try to make that happen. Don't forget to check me out on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and of course, my website, amdtechreviews.com. So until next time, this is Andrew from AMD Tech. See ya.